Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on for ACA. Today we're going to be reviewing the Montecristo Linea 1935 Dumas. So I'm really excited for this one. I want to see how it compares to the Leyenda that we reviewed last week.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
right.
We've still got to try the Maltese as well. So, but from all accounts, it's hopefully they supposedly go up in sort of the quality. So I don't know how much different these could potentially be, but it'll be interesting to find out. And then obviously the Maltese, the one in the middle with the size in the middle. But this is Robusto size. This is probably a little bit smaller.
I think it's a little smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's a 50.
Definitely a little smaller.
Yeah. But
it's still really well packed.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's slightly less packed than the Leyenda.
It's got a little give. I mean, to be honest, the wrapper
but that one was the most packed cigar I think I've ever smoked.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, the wrapper on these are actually a lot. There's a lot more veins on this. Like on the Leyenda, it was almost super smooth, pretty perfect.
Yeah.
You couldn't see too much.
Yeah, I agree on
these.
this particular.
But they actually are quite dark as well. So I don't know if
I think
that's
these are slightly darker, right?
Yeah,
slightly darker.
So I'm not 100% sure if that's the norm or if that's, especially from the box that we picked from. But
you know what's really funny? Off the foot, to me, I'm getting almost like a dried plum kind of raisiny kind of smell.
It's
aroma.
Well, it's funny you say that because on the foot I smell cedar. For me, it's cedary, but on the wrapper, it's some sort of sweetness that I'm not quite sure. It could be. You're right. Like I've never had it. Normally, we were discussing this off camera, but basically saying that normally when you smell a cigar, you normally get the cedar, the hay sort of type notes, but this has got some sweetness that I've not really experienced before. So it'll be interesting to see what that translates to when you smoke the cigar. But the wrapper could be. I can see what you're sort of alluding to with the raisin sort of type of.
Yeah, dried, sweet, dried.
Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. The colder I get, sort of cedar notes.
Yeah, same. It's just pretty much straight cedar for me on this one. Okay, let's light it up then.
Yeah.
We'll come back to you guys.
Big chunk of ashes fell off. I thought, oh my god, the whole thing's gonna fall. I was like, better hold over the ashtray.
Alright guys, we're back at the end of the first third. I'm going a little faster than Johnny, it looks like.
Yeah.
Burn has not been the greatest on these. Definitely a little harder to light and to keep straight. Not been keeping together as well. There's been a lot of kind of flaking off.
Yeah. Like I think the wrapper, I mean, to me the wrapper looks quite thick actually. So I think, I think there was issues when first lighting actually to actually even get the wrapper to be burning. The filler was actually burning a lot quicker. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I know the expectation was set really high with the Leyenda. I think, unfortunately, this is not living up to it. I mean, it's still a good cigar in the fact that the flavours there. It's not. I mean, I'm not getting the youngness because I think it's quite a young cigar, and it's definitely got some of the sort of aged tobacco in it, but it's still not. Well, I think
does
the
this
whole.
have any aged tobacco?
I think the Linea line does. I think they all use like aged tobacco in it. I think. I don't know. I'll need to look that up.
No, I think we're gonna have to look. We'll come back to that in part 2 here.
But I mean, for the flavors for me, like the initial sort of first couple of busts were great. Like easy draw. It was quite smooth. Creaminess. I got quite a fruity sort of stone fruit sort of type flavors. And then the retrohale had the usual toasted almonds, but not as much. Like it's like here and there, sort of with the toasted almonds actually. So it's not 100% always there. So yeah, I mean it's going okay, but it's nowhere near the level of a Leyenda, unfortunately for me. And so I'm a little bit disappointed. But as I said, I think it's still a reasonably good cigar.
Yeah, the Leyenda definitely set a really high bar. Do you think it tastes like a Montecristo?
I was saying to you earlier, I think it actually tastes like a Ras to me. I think it's got those notes where it's a little bit rough around the edges, but still got the flavours that I enjoy. So I do like it, but I think I was talking to you about it is the price point. A RAS is $7.5 US. I think we don't know quite the price on these yet, but I think these are going to be easily about 15, at
Probably
least
like,
15.
Yeah, 15 to 20.
Yeah, 15. Well, yeah, maybe.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably. So, for that price, I don't know if I can justify. I mean, it might blow us away in the second third and the final third, but for now, the initial first third, yeah, not wowed at the moment. So,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think this has a. I mean, it's definitely got the Montecristo elements there. I was getting kind of a little bit of a kind of a big cocoa blast dark kind of cocoa blast when I first lit it up. Now I'm kind of getting that kind of, still getting that. I'm getting kind of woody notes to it. But it is definitely a young cigar. There's a little bit of a harshness there. It's nowhere near as smooth
no.
as the Leyenda. Definitely a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Maybe we psyched ourselves up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a nice smoke. I mean, I would be happy to smoke this on any given day.
Yeah.
But there's definitely, I mean, so far, better, cheaper options
Yeah.
out there.
I think if you're
But who knows how it'll change with age.
Yeah. But I think if this is a cigar that you're going to sort of have as a special occasion sort of type cigar, I mean, obviously time-wise and stuff, obviously if you've got the time, Leyenda obviously is number one, but you haven't got the time, maybe, but I still personally don't think, because this is going to be, probably about 45-minute to an hour smoke, and I think...
Yeah, well, I would definitely go with like a Cohiba Robusto.
Yeah.
Or like a Partagas D4.
Yeah.
Over one of over this particular cigar.
I personally would go for a RAS at the moment, but as I said, we don't know. Second, third might improve, so this could change and be completely different. But for me personally, it's definitely RAS territory at the moment. So, yeah, we'll come back on the second, third, and let you guys know.
Hey guys, we're back at the end of the second third, maybe just slightly past that.
Yeah, we were talking a bit too much. But, you want to go first? Sort of your thoughts?
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. The first two thirds, because we're pretty much at the end of the second third and going into the final now. Again, I didn't think it changed a whole lot. It was pretty consistent. I was not really feeling it. I didn't think it was a very good cigar. Coming into the final third, it's definitely improved. It's becoming more smoother. It's kind of lost a bit of that harsh, new cigar, kind of rough edges, kind of that, it's definitely taken on a bit more, less of that Montecristo-esqueness that I would usually characterize, and a bit more just kind of a smooth kind of woodiness and that cocoa there, maybe a tiny bit of leather. So I would be marking this up surprisingly. I think I'm going into the last bit. The draw has become a little bit more firm for me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's slightly different. Like, I agree with Nate. It didn't really develop from the first third. Like, the flavors are still there. There's still nuttiness, the toasted almonds, basically. There's no sweetness of the stone fruits anymore. The real issue we're having, sort of with both our cigars, is actually the burn issue. Like, we've had to touch these up quite a few times. Like,
mine's gone out like 3 or 4 times at least.
I mean, I know we've been talking and stuff, but I think for us, that's the most we normally have to. So. But I mean, once it's lit, it's actually doing all right. It's okay, but I think, as Nate was saying, the draw's got a little bit tighter, but the flavors, it's getting a little bit stronger into the final third, which is good. I'd still say it's a medium. I would still class it as a medium for me. And then, I'm definitely saying it's a RAS type cigar. We actually just looked up the pricing on these. We found it on a couple of places. It's actually $22 US for one of these sticks, which
that's on the cheaper. That's the cheapest we could find.
Yeah, and to be honest, I don't think I'd be paying $22 for this stick. I don't think it's worth 22 US. I mean, no matter how the final third goes, considering the RAS is $7.50 for me personally, I think it's yeah. I think the enders definitely worth buying, but I mean, we'll say the final third, we'll work it out, but yeah, for 22 at the moment, I'm like, wow, okay.
I mean, I guess we got to take this with a little bit of grain of salt too. I mean, this is the first.
Yeah, quite early.
This is also coming from the same box. Although this box was of the first shipment. Generally speaking, the first shipment of like those new cigars. You know, I think Habanos,
first production.
Habanos, you know, puts a bit more effort in there in terms of the construction and the quality of the tobacco.
Yeah.
So, you know, I guess you could go both ways. You could say, well, that's not a promising start. On the other hand, maybe we just got a bad box. But these ones, I think we're in agreement so far.
Yeah. We managed to get 4 sticks, so we got a couple more. So maybe we'll do a follow up. Well? Yeah, I've got another one. Oh. So we might be able to do another review, sort of say 6-12 months down the line, and see if they have changed. But for me personally, for that price point, I don't think I'd.
Well, 6 months is not a lot of time.
Okay, maybe do in a year then, just to see sort of. But it'd be interesting to see what you guys try these sticks and see what you think, because I know they're just coming out into the in the stores and stuff, so you should be able to pick one up. At the moment, they're sort of, we see them popping up, but it'd be interesting. But for us personally, at the moment, not so sure. So yeah, we'll come back to final third, let you know our final conclusion, and yeah, we'll let you know.
Right. So guys, back at the end of the final third.
Good knob, basically.
And mine has gotten, as I was saying at the end of the second third there, mine has definitely gotten markedly better. First third was okay, kind of leaning on the not so great side. Second third was terrible, absolutely terrible. Final third is gotten a lot better. Not having the burn issues anymore. My cigar is actually staying lit. It's become a lot smoother. Full body. Getting kind of it has that Montecristo DNA there. It's got you know, the kind of wood flavor, kind of mature, kind of cedary notes to it. Getting a little bit of that kind of leatheriness to it. I'm not getting that harshness anymore, or you know, any kind of ammonia or any rough edges, which is good. But I mean, I still wouldn't buy a box of these, especially at that price point. I would probably give this like 79. Yeah, I would probably have given it like a maybe a 73, 74 earlier, but I can't. Yeah.
Well, my experience was slightly different to Nate's. I did enjoy the cigar. I mean, not as much as Leander. It wasn't as terrible. No, definitely not as much, and it wasn't as terrible as Nate's. But the first 2/3 were, you know, pretty much the same. I mean, the final third's got a little bit stronger, as you would expect. So I would say it's probably more a medium full now. I'm still getting the toasted nuts, sort of the almond sort of flavouring, so I'm still enjoying it. But sort of burn issues has marked this down quite a lot for me, because I've had to touch up quite a few times just to keep this going. So I'm going to rate it about 82 for me. As Nate said, sort of I'm factoring price point as well. For that sort of money, I'm expecting a much better smoke, much better sort of burn with a cigar as well. So yeah, 82 for me, and I don't think I'd invest either, but it's one of those things where we were discussing it earlier with regards to investment boxes, where we like to smoke our boxes. Generally, we like to smoke our cigars that we buy. We invest in them, but we generally do smoke them. And so I don't know if these are the boxes that, you know, the Linea 1985s, I don't know if they can skyrocket in price like the Behikes. If they do, then, you know, it's one of those things we can't predict.
Well, they would have to be good in order for that. I'd be interested to see what other people that are kind of reviewing these and what they're rating them. So maybe you guys can take a look around and do some due diligence around that, and not just listen to us necessarily.
Yeah, and don't buy.
We may not know what we're talking about. Actually, we probably don't know what we're talking about.
Well, they're worth trying. That's all we're saying. Like, try it. You're not going to have a terrible experience, but just be mindful of the price point being that high that I don't think you should buy a box straight up without trying one. I think you need to try one first, and then
that's a good recommendation.
And then see if you enjoy that flavour. Because, you know, it might be to your palate and not to ours. So yeah, but I think it was okay experience. Like it wasn't.
It was alright. I mean, it was definitely good to try.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
We came. We saw.
Yeah.
Next cigar.
Yeah.
Literally next cigar.
Yeah,
Now
we're gonna do another review. So yeah, we're gonna move on to the next one. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one then, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
The next one being the Partagas Maduro.
Maduro.
#1.
Yeah.
Number 1. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the number 1. I don't know if Nate's gonna post these in order, so we'll see what happens. But hopefully we will.
I will. I will.
Yeah, that kind of ties him in, so he has to do it. So yeah, well, look forward to hearing your comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and then we'll see you in the next review.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.